Hello friends, welcome to my channel. In today's video, it would be a lesson on warts. So how it is, what the wart is, how we can remove it, and I will also tell you how I personally removed my wart at home. So it would be kind of a DIY. So let's get started. First of all, if you can see in the picture, this is how what looks like. So these are some solid skin growth on your top layer of your skin that is caused by a HPV virus, which is a human papilloma virus. So it is a contagious disease because this virus can be transmitted through a close physical contact, or not only with the close physical contact, it can also spread indirectly if you're using shared items between infected person and a non-infected person. So they can also spread indirectly through the broken skin as well. Okay. Then we have a genital warts which are present at the genital areas, and these can be transmitted through sexual intercourse with the infected person. So there are three ways. First, when you have a skin to skin contact, like if you are touching the wart and then making a handshake with your friend, so that can directly transmit that particular disease, or it can be also spread through an indirect means, like you have chipped off your wart and then you have that on your towel, and that towel is getting used by your near and dear ones, so that can also spread the disease. And obviously the genital warts, which are at the genital areas, are transmitted in the sexual intercourse. So this can occur in all of the people in all of the ages. It is not specific to any of the particular age group, like child or in adults or in senior citizens. No, it is not like that, though these are more common in children as well as in the young adults as compared to the elderly people. Now, if you see the previous slide, you can see that this is a particular finger or a hand of a person. This is a finger, and this is the wart that has been bulged out. And if you see, this is a toe of a person, and you can see that there's a wart, and you can also see some tiny red dots into it. Similarly, you can see red dots are here as well. So these are some blood vessels that are associated with these warts. Now, going to the next slide, what happens in warts? So first let us see this picture. So this picture is a hand of a child. He is having not only one wart but multiple warts on two of his fingers. So obviously this can spread from an infected person to an uninfected person, but it can also spread in the same person as well. And if you have already one, there is more likely that you will be developing more of these warts in near future, or at the same time when you see one. So these are usually painless, means these warts will not create any issues in terms of anything, like you will not feel any pain in that area. But yes, they might itch you, they might even bleed occasionally if this is a severe condition. But usually, like 90% of the times, this is really painless. So it is just a skin growth, and there's nothing much pain to that. So it can grow anywhere on the body, and at times it can be very annoying and it can cause some cosmetic problems. For example, I had one on my index finger, and I really was very annoyed because I didn't want it to see my hands. I was not feeling that my hand is not looking pretty, like stuff like that. So it was pretty embarrassing and pretty annoying for me. So yes, it can grow anywhere on your body, and it can shatter your confidence to some extent. Yes. Then coming about warts, they have a high rate of reoccurrence after most conventional treatments. Even if you have been treated, there are likely chances of reoccurring of these warts. So this happened with me as well. As I told you that I had a wart on my index finger, and it also spread to my thumb, which was relatively a smaller one. This was really, really small. It was like barely visible as well. And eventually, after some time, I had got it on my toes as well. So it is not necessarily like if you have warts on your hand, it will spread only on your hands. It can go anywhere. Now, depending upon its appearance and location, warts are classified into four types. So it can be a common wart, it can be a plantar wart, it can be a flat wart, it can be a genital warts. So let us learn more about these four types of warts. When talking about the type of the warts, first is the common wart, which is usually on fingers, around nails, and back of your hand. These are pretty common because hand is the most common area these warts can grow. Also, there is a seed wart because there are some blood vessels, as I told, that there are some blood vessels within them that can produce black dots that look like seeds. So these can also be called, these common warts can also be known as seed warts, that blood vessels in them. They look like a seed, and hence they are also called as seed warts. Then we talk about plantar warts. These are usually grown on your feet, so on your soles, on your plantar area basically. There can be mosaic warts as well, which is a kind of a cluster of these plantar warts, which is usually at the sole of your feet. So this can be a little painful because it is obviously on the sole, so it can wear and tear and get irritated when we move. So it can be a little painful as compared to common wart. Um, One can catch the infection while walking barefoot on infected surfaces such as swimming pools, public toilets. So, public places are prone to these kind of infections. So, it is really very advisable to use your slippers in such public places and try not to walk barefoot even in your home as well. So, that is what plantar warts are. Then we have a flat warts. So comparatively, these are smaller and smoother than the other warts like commoner plantar warts. So these are most commonly found on the face and in the beard area and on the legs in women. So based on their location, they are also known as flat warts because it does not have that much kind of a bulge as compared to a common or a plantar or a genital warts. So it is kind of a flatter in terms of other warts. So it is known as a flat warts. Then we have a genital warts, so which is a highly contagious and that can spread through either oral, anal, or vaginal sex. This is more common in women and it occurs on the outside, inside of the vagina or on the cervix of the uterus or around the anus. So it is mostly at the genital area of a woman. So these are most more common in women, but it is less common in men. But it does not mean that there is none. Yes, there are cases, but obviously they are lesser in comparison to women. These warts on the men can be seen on the tip of the penis, and they may also be found on the shaft of the penis or scrotum or anus. So these are the different types of warts. So four warts, common warts, plantar warts, flat warts, and genital warts. So there is mosaic warts as well, which is kind of a plantar warts in a clustered manner. So what are the different causes of these warts? So first of all, it is obviously caused by this HPV virus, which is human papilloma virus. HPV is also known to cause cancer of the cervix of uterus in women. So this usually enters your body through your broken skin. For example, you chip off your skin, you got hurt and you have like a broken skin, and this is the time when this virus enters through that broken skin and infects your top layer of the skin. This virus causes the skin to grow rapidly, forming a wart. So it is not an amalgamation of skin cells generation. Every person that gets exposed to this virus will not get a wart. So if even if you have like cut on your skin, this virus enters your body, this is not the sure shot thing that you will get a wart. No. There are some people who are more prone to get these warts due to their immune system as compared to others. If you get these, just remember that your immunity or your immune system is not that well built as compared to other people around you. And if this virus is also staying longer on your skin, like these warts do self fell off because our body is fighting to these warts and this virus. So if your body is also not fighting enough that these warts fell off on its own, then means you need to really work on your immune system. Now we are going to the next slide, where what are the risk factors for these warts. In the previous slide we saw like how this wart get caused to a person. It can be either by a broken skin or if you have a weak immune system. So these are the two main causes that you might get a wart. Now, what are the risk factors? So it is common among children and young adults. So it is not advisable that you walk barefoot. You should not do that, especially in the public places. Um, and I will recommend do not walk barefoot even in your home as well. Then it is risky that you are sharing some razors and towels and personal items, toiletries with infected persons, which is not advisable. So that is one of the risk factors that a person might get caught with the what. Then biting one's nail. So this habit I had and I regret it. So you should not bite your nails. Wearing closed and tight shoes leads to sweaty feet. So you should change your socks or even sun dry your shoes regularly in order to keep that area uninfected to any sweat and any infections and viruses. So having a weak immune system is obviously the main reasons persons are at risk of getting a wart. So in order to boost your immune system, you can add those food items to your diet that will eventually help you improve your immune system. And try to drink as much as water. Try to take as much as vitamin D and other vitamins that are required to build your better immune system. Now we will talk about what can warts lead to. So obviously, as I told you that your self-confidence get a hit, and the presence of the warts, especially if they are large on your faces or your necks or any of your body that is exposed to people, that tend to affect one's confidence. Then there can be pain and irritation, uh, though the chances of any pain are really less when warts are concerned. But if you have like a plantar wart, that it might cause some pain on your feet. Then there are some malignant changes, which is a very rare. The percentage or the chances of getting that is rare. Um, though some strains of human papillomavirus can cause, cervical cancer and can cause cancer of the vulva, penis, or anus as well. If you have a genital wart, try to consult a doctor instead of doing any DIY. Then, what are the do's that you should be doing in order to help yourself that you do not catch these warts is you should wash your hands, not only hands, affected area as well. Wash your hands with the hot water and soap after touching the wart. So if you have touched your wart, you have like on your hand and you have touched it, try to wash your hand with the hot water or sanitize your hands with the sanitizers, and that will eventually avoid the spread of the virus to further extend. Then, after you have washed your hands, you should try to keep yourself dry because these attract, not only these, fungus and every such microorganisms. They try to thrive for the moist environment. They really like that, and if we do not want to make them grow on our skin, then we should avoid giving them the favorable conditions. Use condoms, and that might reduce the risk of getting a genital wart, but eventually it will not completely eliminate the risk of the spread, but it can surely reduce. Then, what are the don'ts? Avoid biting your fingernails. I really hope that someone had told me this. Keep your hands away from your mouth. So, avoid biting your fingernails and do not use the nail files or the same nail cutters or the pumice stones that you use at the time of bathing. So try to have that separate from your family or your close ones. Avoid picking at the warts, so do not scratch, and obviously if you do that it will eventually spread it more, not only to others but to yourself as well. Cover the wart with an adhesive bandage to prevent picking. If you can do that, yeah. Avoid brushing, combing, clipping, shaving in the areas that have warts, especially if it is a genital one. Then, what is the role of the diet and nutrition? So, foods you should include should be rich in folate or the folic acids, such as asparagus, strawberries, oranges. This can reduce the risk of the cancers. Then you should indulge food that are rich in beta carotene, like carrots, broccoli, spinach, peaches, all of these. This will help you to reduce the risk of acquiring this virus, human papilloma virus, and this can reduce to 50%. Then there is food high in antioxidants like blueberries, cherries, green teas are also good ones to prevent the spread of warts. Add garlic to your diet. Garlic does not only have antiviral, it has antibacterial, antifungal, and everything anti it has the properties to it. Daily add a garlic to your diet. Then eventually I will tell you how I personally removed the wart at home. This I did using a duct tape. So I purchased a duct tape and I did it on my toes. I had one wart on my toe, so I used the duct tape for like 6 days. I did not remove that particular tape from my toe. From 6 days after that, I removed my tape, and then I was able to see some shrinkage in terms of the skin growth, and I was able to see that the red dot part area has intensified, and I was also started getting some itch to that area. After that, in this therapy, it is told that you, after you have removed the duct tape, after 6 days, you try to brush it with the pumice stone. Try to give it a warm bath in the warm water. Try to keep your hand or foot, anything in that warm water, and then eventually tape it again with the duct tape and repeat the process maybe 2 or 3 times until and unless you see any such results. And eventually I did one, and in less than 20 days the wart completely got removed without any mark. This was completely removed off my skin, and I'm really happy that I did it on my own. Though I will also tell you one therapy that I did on my fingers and on my hands. I tried the freezing or the cryotherapy. So, what the doctor would do, they would freeze, try to burn that particular wart by some application tool, and the marks on my skin is still there. Though the wart has gone, but it was a nightmare for me, and after I got the wart on my toe, I was completely devastated. Like, I will not be doing that particular process of freezing and cryotherapy again. But eventually, duct tape occultation therapy helped me in removing the wart from my toe. And if you want, I will also share the vlog on this channel, but I'm not sure if this is the right platform. I should be posting that online, or if you want like a detailed video, like what happened on the first day and third day, and how eventually it got disappeared. So I do have a video, different videos for it, and some photographs that I can share, but it would be a little gross. I don't know if I should be doing that. So tell me by commenting down below if I should do that or not, and eventually I will obviously listen to you guys. You are my friends. And if you like this video, do subscribe it and do give it a thumbs up, and take care. Bye bye.